Gladiator 2 is one of the most anticipated movie releases of the year, and one of the films history fans have been waiting to get released for a number of years now. But as we get closer and closer to the release of this film to cinemas all across the world, I felt now would be a good time to review everything we know about Gladiator 2 so far, and lots of interesting facts you didn't know about this upcoming sequel either. That way, when the film finally gets released to cinemas, you will go in prepared and ready with all the knowledge needed beforehand. But before we begin, don't forget, if you love anything to do with historical movies and historical TV shows, then subscribe to my channel, HistorySpark. So, it has been confirmed that Russell Crowe will not be returning to the film as Decimus Maximus Meridius, who was the central character of the original Gladiator movie, and the most recognizable figure from the film as well. Although Russell Crowe has stated in interviews previously that Gladiator holds a special place in his heart, he is in no way or form involved with the sequel. In fact, he has even gone on to state that he has some reservations about Gladiator 2 based on some insider information he has heard about where the plot will be heading for this film. So definitely some mixed feelings from Russell Crowe about Gladiator 2, a film which he will not be involved in any way or form. However, although Russell Crowe may not be featuring in the sequel to Gladiator, there are a handful of returning actors and actresses from the original film that will be re-portraying their roles in Gladiator 2. These include Connie Nielsen as Lucilla, the sister of Emperor Commodus, and Derek Jacobi as Gracchus, a Roman senator. So it is great to see that these two are on board for the sequel film, and hopefully they will be as epic in the sequel as they were in the original film. Aside from the talented returning cast members, this movie also has some excellent top-tier talent headlining this historical film, such as Denzel Washington as Macrinus, a wealthy weapons dealer, Pedro Pascal as Marcus Acaecius, a Roman general, and Paul Mescal as Lucius, who will be playing the central character of this upcoming historical movie. We also have quite a bit of detail about the plot of Gladiator 2, with the film starting with Lucilla sending her son Lucius to Numidia in northern Africa to shelter him from the growing corruption in Roman society. And Lucius is now a grown man living with his own family in Numidia, but his peace gets disturbed when Roman general Marcus invades Numidia and forces Lucius into slavery. And from there he eventually finds himself fighting as a gladiator before Emperors Caracalla and Geta. Also, one of the most positive aspects of Gladiator 2 is that Ridley Scott will be returning as the producer and director of Gladiator 2. And no one understands what made Gladiator such a success in the first place better than Ridley Scott, who was the genius behind the original film. Ridley Scott's latest forays into the historical genre haven't been met with great success, with The Last Duel, Napoleon, and Robin Hood all being commercial failures and lukewarmly received by audiences. Hopefully Gladiator 2 will be the historical epic that Ridley Scott needs to revive his career in the historical movie genre. There are also some figures behind the screen who are pivotal in making Gladiator such a success in the first place returning for Gladiator 2, and these include cinematographer John Mathieson, production designer Arthur Max, and costume designer Janty Yates. So definitely a talented cast behind the camera, and hopefully they'll be able to replicate the same level of success with Gladiator 2. The script for this film will be penned by David Scarpa, who is a rising name in Hollywood, previously collaborating with Ridley Scott on Napoleon. And I have to say though that the dialogue in Napoleon wasn't great. It wasn't terrible, but it definitely was one of the factors that made Napoleon a bit of an overall letdown. Hopefully David Scarpa will do a better job in penning the script for Gladiator 2, but again, this remains one of the elements of this upcoming sequel that I remain quite anxious about, but hopefully I'll be proven wrong. Gladiator 2 will also have 3 separate release dates depending on where in the world you live. For the UK and most international audiences, you can watch Gladiator 2 on November 15 of this year. Audiences in Australia and New Zealand can watch the film a day before on November 14, and fans in Canada and the US will be a week late to the party with the film hitting cinemas on November 22nd. So if you are a fan of Gladiator 2 and you're living in the US, I would avoid the internet for a week starting November 15. With a film like Gladiator, fight scenes and battle sequences are to be expected, and this film seems set to deliver on that front with naval battles, land battles, gladiator battles, and even battles against rhinos and baboons, all confirmed to be featured within this film. Even if Gladiator 2 may potentially lack in terms of storytelling, it will definitely overachieve in the action and fights department for sure. This is perhaps the most interesting tidbit of information that came to light in the second trailer which got released for Gladiator 2. And in this trailer, it was confirmed that Lucius is not actually the son of Lucius Verus as initially depicted in Gladiator, but the progeny of Maximus Decimus Meridius, which is a plot device that will definitely feature heavily in the film, but also a unique way to connect the two Gladiator films together much more effectively. So those are the 10 most interesting and important things I thought you should know about Gladiator 2 before it hits cinemas later on this year. Let me know in the comments down below if there are any other details that I may have missed out on, and if you're looking forward to watching Gladiator 2 or not. And as always, if you want to stay up to date with everything in the historical world in terms of historical movies and historical TV shows, then subscribe to my channel HistorySpark, and thank you so much for watching. Have a great day. Bye.